Tonight at 5 o'clock, we started the conversation about teens and their thoughts on suicide. Teens told us it's taboo and not talked about enough.
Now we continue that conversation. 10:11's Casey Geraldo joins us. And in the second part of your talk, Casey, what stood out to you?
These teens know what they need to do. They know that they need to go talk to an adult. They told me it's not always as easy as you might think. I asked the teens some hard questions, and they gave me some very honest answers.
You really have to tell, like, an adult or somebody that you trust like that to help them.
But it isn't always that easy.
They're going to get mad at me, or if I tell a counselor, like a school counselor or a teacher, like, it's going to all fall back on me and that person's going to be mad at me. But in the end, if it's like your last resort, that's something that you need to do. Like this, it could make or break a person's life. And like, if it comes down to that point, I think that you need to go to someone that's going to have more control than you do.
Something these teens told me they know they need to do, especially after having lost someone they knew to suicide.
My parents have talked to me about suicide, but they never really brought it up or talked to me about it until it actually happened. I didn't understand what was happening when it did happen. So, yeah, I think it should have been addressed before then.
You can go to your parents, but, like, they can't really do that much for you. I mean, I know my parents, for one, aren't really involved in social media or anything like that, so they're not going to be the ones to, like, stand up to people on the internet who are, you know, trash talking me or something like that. And at school, my parents don't really tag along with me to school. That's my friends, you know, so they're going to be the ones that make me feel included and that kind of stuff.
So it's friends these teens turn to. When you talk to your friends about it, what do you guys talk about?
One thing that me and my friends kind of talk about is, like, we weren't necessarily real close to the recent suicides. It affected us nonetheless, but instead of, like, kind of talking about the guilt and what we could have done, we more talked about, like, what people should do next time and, like, how to deal with, like, somebody close to you, or even just somebody that you see on social media who's having a tough time.
I've had personal experience with it, so I guess my friends and I obviously talk about how challenging it is to lose someone, our grieving process, how, you know, I'm very thankful for my friend group for that, because we all are very emotionally expressive, and were, especially when we lost our friend.
One place they don't feel they get enough support is at school.
It feels so fake. It's just so emails and announcements and stuff like that. It's not on a one-on-one basis anymore. It's more taken to such a wide scale that it doesn't feel like it touches home very well. It feels like a completely empty offer.
I did reach out to some of the area high schools to see how they handle suicides, and if you'd like to read more about that, you can head on to our 1011 News app. And if you missed part 1 of the conversation tonight, that's also online to check out. All right.
Yeah. Brave young kids, you know, I give them credit for going on camera. It's not an easy subject to talk about. You did a nice job.
They were very honest, and it was great.
Excellent job. Thank you. Well, tonight at 10, maybe the toughest question of them all. Have teens ever thought about suicide themselves, and did they change their minds?
And if you want more information about suicide and ways to prevent it, along with information about how area high schools handle suicide, you can log on to our 1011 News app or 1011now.com. We'll be right back.